You're good? All right. Well, here we go. Starting over. And I'll just edit it for the YouTube video tomorrow. Hey, what's up, guys? We're back for another forecast. I think it's like forecast 13 or 14. It's been a little while. Was on a little bit of a hiatus. We got, I guess, kind of a more somber cast for you guys. I'm sure if you've been following the forum, you're pretty aware of what's happened in the last 2 weeks. But a good friend to a lot of people, a great guy, Kicking It 07, passed away. For this forecast, we decided to bring in a lot of the guys that were close with him, the CAC. So it's an all CAC forecast today. And just go ahead and introduce yourselves. We'll start with Jules.
All right, go by the tag of Jules Online. Pretty obvious with my last name. Been with the forum community for ever since it started now. Some people refer to me as the leader of the CAC, even though it's kind of a everybody on their own type team.
Then Wars.
Yeah, Wars Hellion. Admin at the forums. I've been there since the beginning. I'm proud to be a CAC.
Real quick, before Darthwing introduces himself. Is it a secret, or did somebody just say that once? Like, like, is there really a secret behind it, or?
There is.
Okay, okay.
It stand for something, but it's not politically correct.
Okay.
It cannot be mentioned here.
Well, go ahead and introduce yourself, Nightwing.
It's Nightwing. Been with the forum since the beginning. Been with the CAC since the beginning, almost with Jewel.
No matter how many times we try to get rid of them.
No shit.
And then obviously there's Grit, who isn't playing Tecmo Bowl this forecast, which is a huge improvement.
Last forecast either.
I know.
Would that behave from now on?
It's just huge strides in everything that you do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's everybody, or not everybody from the CAC, but it's an all CAC, and then there's me, Gorilla Hand, still doing the forecast. I've only heard bits and details. I'm sure you guys know a whole lot more, but at least from the results of the autopsy, my understanding is he had a heart attack.
Correct. The way Kalo told me, because Kalo's pretty close with them, works with them every day, or did work with them every day. The way the doctor said it was a massive heart attack, pretty much instant. Even if he was in the hospital, there was nothing that could have been done.
Does anyone know if he had like family history, or is this a surprise to the people that knew him? Like,
yes. Yeah, it was a surprise. As far as I know, they don't really have any family history. I mean, really, he was a little bit bigger, but I wouldn't say he was extremely overweight. Yeah. I think based off of the forums where it had the Meet Your Forumers, where you could post up the stuff, I think he was a 5'10", maybe 220.
Yeah, it's not too bad. That's not like, no. I mean, you might be at risk for some type of heart ailments, but not at that age, because he was young. Right. He was a young guy, 37, right?
37. Yes, you're right.
30s. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's hard when stuff like that happens for anybody, but you don't expect that at all at that age. That's unreal, and I couldn't imagine how hard it's got to be. I mean, my condolences go out to the family and all of his close friends, because that's something you can't even expect to come out to happen. I don't know if it was Tandem who mentioned it. Someone mentioned they saw him. I mean, that he was on Xbox, the day of, jumped on for a little bit, jumped off, and it says you don't expect something like that to happen, and it really sucks. But I mean, how are you guys doing in all this? I mean, how's it been for you guys? Because I know you guys are much closer.
I'd say for the first 2 days, honestly, I mean, it kind of tore everybody that we played with apart. I mean, it was one of those that we played pretty much nightly. There was a good 2-3 hours a day that we were on, having the conversations, just having a good time. And then with that, I mean, I don't think anybody jumped online for a couple of days, and it took a good week before it even started to get back to where it even felt normal.
Yeah.
It'll never be the same.
No.
But, I mean, it started to feel a little bit normal again. It was definitely a shock.
I mean, how about Wars? I mean, how are you feeling? I mean, it can't be something.
Oh, it hit pretty hard. real hard.
I mean, you guys were. I mean, the forum is a tight knit group, I'd say. But I mean, the CAC of all the subgroups, I'd say you guys are pretty tightly knit. So you guys were all really close, and it's just to have something like that happen. It's but I mean, at the same time, you guys the nice thing on the forums, at least when that thread came out, a lot of people came in, showed support, and then you guys quickly put up that for kicking that weekend. I mean, you guys did seem to bounce back. I wasn't there, but I know there's a lot of people that came involved. I mean, how did that work out? The kicking weekend.
Well, there was quite a few groups going at the same time. It got to the point where at the end of the night, it was me, Treason, and me and Jules for a while. We couldn't get into another group. They were all full. So Treason came on. It was me, Jules, and Treason. Jules had the putts off, and Timmy ended up joining us. We played till probably 4 o'clock in the morning.
It was that Friday night. I know we had, there was a group of us going, and, we went, with Black Ops 2 and then into Black Ops, and then we kind of petered out, I guess, when we were all at about beer 16 or 17. So we had, we were all laughing and having fun, just, sharing stories. So it was, a good weekend. And then Saturday night when we played, we were actually playing Ground War. I think we had 9 of us at a time at a couple different points. Different guys bumping in, guys we haven't even talked to or gamed with in maybe a year, hopped in with us. So it was,
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
It was nice.
Kind of what LBS just threw up. It was there's people that hadn't been on in years, and actually it jumped on because I believe it was an announcement. So anybody that was affiliated with the forum community received an email.
Yeah.
So you had a
I
lot.
sent that out.
Right. So you had a lot of people that haven't been around the forums in quite a while. I mean, I was, I've started to get back on the forums a little bit more active now, but I had kind of drifted off into our own little world. But like LBS says, there was a lot of guys. I haven't played with Treason in forever, and he was on.
Well, I'm glad to see that kind of that turnout for it, because he was a great guy. I mean, like I said, I didn't know him as well, but anytime I saw him on the forum, always a great guy. He helped. I know he worked at, what was it, Adobe, I think is what it was, and he helped get me. Yeah. He got me After Effects for that. That software is like three grand. He got it for me for $100. No questions asked either. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. I mean, he always. I never saw him have a problem with anybody. He's always seemed like a really nice guy. Always seemed like he was a fun to hang out with. I mean, are there any memories that you have of him that you kind of want to reflect on? Anything you want to talk about?
There's a ton of them, really. I think probably the next day after we heard the news, I started kind of flipping through some of the old YouTube videos. And Nutter Butters, that's definitely for sure there. But no, it's I didn't even realize how often we played with Kick, and he just happened to be there on anything big that we did with the no-kill domination, we gave a group a 100-point lead, and the no-kill domination, granted, it was against a bunch of randoms, so I mean, it was just the right scenario, but we did a 100-point lead to where we just hit in a corner till the other team got 100 points, came out and won, and it was actually against a team of 5, and then they had one random on their team as well.
I remember that, yeah. PI did that, yeah.
Right. It was a great video, but with that, he was there all the big times. Whenever Stabby got his 100,000th kill against me.
That was hilarious, yeah.
I tell you what, and I do appreciate Stabby putting that up there, because I'd completely forgot about that. I mean, it was just, that's how every night is with the CAC. I mean, we're always fucking around. We're always having a good time. And that was just another night. So I forgot about it. And after Stabby put that up, I actually went back and watched the video. And it was actually that turning point from where the grief starts to turn into good memories. So I do appreciate that from Stabby. And that's kind of where it rolled from there.
So I mean, for people who don't know, what's Nutter Butters? What does that mean exactly?
You guys want me to tell this story? I can't remember who was on the room. I know it was me, LBS, Diesel, and Kicking for sure. And we're sitting there playing, and LBS was having a beat a snack, and Kicking said, he's like, "What the hell are you eating, man?" And LBS with the mouthful of Nutter Butter said, "Nutter Butters." And Kicking went on how he hasn't had those in years. And then Diesel chimed in, and he said, "I'll send you some up, Kicking. You know, I can mail them to you." And you know, Kicking was like, "All right." And next thing we hear with fucking Diesel, man, "Ma, hey Ma." Then you hear his headset drop, and you hear him scamper off. And then his headset was still on. He's like, "Can I mail Nutter Butters to Canada?" And it was fucking hilarious for everybody. And me, I know Diesel's mom. She's a postmaster here in town, so he was asking to see if it was legal because, you know, sending food shit like that's goofy in the mail. But we just all laughed for it. We couldn't catch our breath. That's how hard we were laughing. Fucking water in eyes, sides hurting, and it was kind of a running gig there for, you know, every time. And you know, us being the way we are, and we'd all play together. So, Kicking, you get your Nutter Butters yet? Fuck you, Grit. It's, you know, followed by laughter, man. It was always, that was a good story. I'm laughing now thinking about it, hearing Diesel scamper off, and everybody's like, "What the hell is he doing?" And then you hear him over the headset. "Come out Nutter Butters to Canada."
I haven't. Did he show up for the Kicking It weekend? I didn't.
Yeah, he was around.
Yeah,
He
was
was
he?
this Saturday. I tell you what. I called Nathan because he and I are good friends. We, you know, as a best man in his wedding, and he played with Kicking a shitload too, and that was one of the hardest phone calls I had to make. You know, and as soon as I talked to him, I started crying. You know, I couldn't. It just, you know, I don't even want to, talking about it now is just making me tear up. You know, it was just a fucking shock. You know, a guy a few years older than me, and something happens to him. You know, like I said it a million times on the site. In my brain, we're all 25 and fucking bulletproof, man.
Yeah.
Ain't shit happening to us.
Yeah.
You know, I figured we'd be dealing with this in 30 years when we're all old. You know, like Cable's age or some shit.
Yeah, that's something I
said Cable.
never expect that. Never expect that in a million years. I had the same mindset, Grit. Like, not. I mean, if that's going to happen, it's going to happen way down the line, you know, and it's going to make sense. But at this age, it's.
It was what anybody from the forums in general. I mean, it's not like we're a geriatric community.
Yeah,
Sure,
no. I mean,
maybe
Cable.
2 people, but
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, it was a shock to the entire community because it's not something that you expect from that. I mean, like people our age, that doesn't happen. So I mean, it was a huge shock.
No.
But on
he-
one of the other stories, instead dreading on the
Yeah.
shock of it. I mean, we've already went through that, and I don't want that to be
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
One of the other things I remember that I can't remember who brought up. It was either Treason, possibly Timmy, one of them. Where
Hiding in the grass.
yeah, he's laying in the fucking grass. We're playing Modern Warfare 2, I believe it. It was the Overpass map. Was that actually what it was called? Was Overpass or?
Is that the one with rain?
It was an old Call of Duty 4 map that got renamed.
Oh, the one with Grandma's house?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking
Overgrown.
about. Overgrown. That's it. Overgrown. Yeah.
And we were just smoking this team. I mean, we were having a good night, and there was one guy that had no worries whatsoever for any of the objectives. And he would just find this tall grass everywhere. Yeah, overgrown, LBS says. And he'd just lay randomly in this grass, and it just seemed like Kicking was the only one he was killing. The guy was like 18-0, and Kicking's like 4-18.
Oh, God.
And everybody else is positive, and boy, Kicking was just so frustrated and yelling. He's laying in the fucking grass, just constantly. And honestly, I think, and that was from Modern Warfare 2, so I mean, it was several years, or not several, a few years back. and it's been stuck that way. Any map that comes up with grass on it, and especially if it was one of those where a CAC's jumping in against us just to mess around, if Kickin's on the other team, you can bet your ass you're laying in the grass.
That's funny.
There's a goddamn match just to wait for him to come by, just so I can get that one kill.
Yeah. Oh, it's worth it. It's worth it if you get that. Yeah, yeah. That's. I never heard that story. That's awesome. That's funny. It's hilarious.
I forgot that one.
Is there anything you remember, Nightwing, at all? Any stories you got?
We played. Me and Kickin played Crackdown 2. I think we were the only two forum guys to actually play it, and he just jumped into my game one day, and we played it for a couple months. And anytime any of the other cocks got on, we'd stop playing that and go play Call of Duty.
Crackdown 2. Yeah. I guess that didn't get a whole lot of. It was an open world shooter game, right? Kind of like Grand Theft Auto in the future.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, and Kickin was the only other guy to pick that up, and I didn't even know about it until he jumped in my game.
That's funny. Also, it had drop in, drop out, co-op kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, yeah, that was I never played that game. It's cool that he jumped in there with you. Played that. What? Anything else? Anything? I mean, I know. I
fucking laugh. You'd always know when he was in, and he's always in a good mood when he played.
Yeah.
God.
I don't think I played a single night with Kickin in a bad mood. I mean, I can literally think of everybody else. I mean, just want to break their discs. I
don't want to cut you off, but Tandem's saying something about he left his mic on when he went to the pisser.
Yeah, I seen that. Actually, I think that was me.
Oh, was it? Okay.
That was Jules.
He was the one who kind of mentioned, "Hey, Jules."
Yeah, that was me. That whole muting the mic feature hadn't quite grasped yet.
Imagine if you've been drinking a couple beers, it's harder to remember that too. Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I can think of an opportunity with not just the CAC, but with anybody I've ever played with, where they get pissed off and just the fucking I'm done. Whether it's the lag compensation that's frustrating you, or just one of those, you got another player that just seems like he's following you around and sitting in your damn lap, and it's just like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm not playing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Kickin never had that. I mean, just it was constant. No matter what was going wrong, he'd be laughing the whole time.
That's one of the things I noticed, at least on the forums, because I even a couple weeks back when I was talking about the traffic site stuff, like all the stuff he came in was just stay positive, always stay positive. I've never seen him be unpositive about anything. Like he might denounce when other people were like jackasses or were negative, but by and large, anything that he said was always pretty positive. So that guy was it's a good demeanor to have in life, a good attitude to have, because I know there's plenty of times I'm playing where I I get pretty upset. So he has a much better approach than I do, that's for sure. So yeah, it sucks. But he seems like he was really well celebrated. It seems like I've never heard a negative thing about him, so it seems like he was a really awesome guy, and all the experiences I had with him were always great. So I mean, just interacting with him, he seemed like a really great guy.
Oh, and that's even with all the shit we gave him. I mean, between all of us, if you got into a room with the CAC and you're sitting in there listening to the conversations we're having, you think we hated each other. I mean, it's more trolling than what anybody on the other team could do. And the shit that we would give him, I mean, we gave him a lot of shit, and he'd just roll with it, and I mean, he'd love every minute of it.
Yeah.
Especially when Wars lost his tag.
What happened?
When Wars' internet went down, he used one of Jules' tags. And Kickin jumped on for all of, 10 minutes before it got banned?
It was one match that got banned. What's great is it, since I set it up on my Xbox, and then Wars took it, it still got the original tag with the original avatar that I created on it on mine.
Mm-hmm.
So it is kind of one of those, it's a sad thing to see every time I log into Xbox, but at the same time it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
For those that don't know about it, and I mean, some people probably take this the wrong way just because, I mean, it's one of those that You have to know the CAC. I mean, people like LBS and Tannum and Taze has played with us quite a few times, Mercy a few times. The whole reason it started was from the forums whenever he put up, sorry about that, send a text real quick, from whenever he put up his picture, he had that fucking Canadian mustache, is what somebody referred to it as. And based off of that mustache, I told him he looked like a fucking pedo. So with that, I mean, it's stuck all the way through, and we always give him shit about it. What's that?
Is it still in the forums? Can I pull it up now?
You can.
Let me see if I can find it.
Actually, if you go to the Kickin' thread that started up right after the news, I think it's page 2. Somebody actually put a link on it. I can't remember who put it up.
LBS put a bunch of links from the site. He went through and found a lot of posts.
It was LBS. I think it was Monarch, actually.
Okay.
Correctly. But it has the forum where it's got the pictures, and he's got a picture where it's a wedding. He's got a poker thing, and then a couple of shark pictures on there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got it. I've got it up here now.
Got it.
Yeah.
LPS says it was Monarch.
Yeah, there he is.
Just that mustache. I mean, I automatically had to give him shit about it. And so with that, I mean, it just ran. I believe that was Kickin' had just become a CAC, actually. He'd ran with us for a few times. He was, I can't remember who he was running with before, but the whole time thing, he had a different schedule. We had a different schedule, and then just he came run with us. And we were giving him shit about that ever since he joined, and it's always stuck. So the tag that we made up, Wars had some stuff come up, lost his tag, and I've got a family membership that I only use for, I think I've got 3 tags on it. One isn't even in effect. But so I was like, hey, I'll create a tag. I'll get you the information. You can recover it. So I made the tag Kickin' Zapido. And the most fucked up part was it popped up, this tag's already taken. So I fucking lost it. I'm sitting there just dying, and I think I was actually talking to Royce at the time, and I'm like, man, you wait till you see this tag I'm making you, and all of a sudden I just lose it. He's like, what? And I'm like, the tag's already taken. And so I actually had to put an X after it. You like that, Days? So it ended up being Kickin' Zapido X to make it Elite Pro. And it lasted 1 match. We played 1 match, and then next thing you know, Wars is kicked off, or Kickin' Zapido's kicked off. And at least Kickin' was there to see it, so it got on, and honestly, I think I went over the line on that one. You could tell by the tone of Kickin's voice, he didn't appreciate it. But at the same time, you remember that, Wars?
Oh, yeah.
I even text Wars, I'm like, I think I might have fucked up on that one. Maybe I crossed that line, but he got kicked off, and so we had to rename the tag, and it's Kickin's White Van. Is what it is now.
It's funny.
So with that, and I've still got it on my live account, and it'll stay there. So
It's actually on my Xbox as well.
right.
That's funny.
But it's just one of those things that, I mean, like I said, somebody would join into the room, and the reason I wanted to share that story is because, one, it's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And second off, it's kind of, I know Snake actually made a post on the Kickin' It thread that if you didn't know the conversations we had at night, you'd be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Parking across from a preschool and the coolest white van that God gave him. But I mean, it's just one of those things that stuck.
Oh, that's it. And, you know, Wars and I, we go golfing, you know, a couple times a year. I mean, we just live down the road from each other, but it started Tiger Woods golf when you hit a putt and it stops at the lip. And that was always happening to him on that game. So for the last what, 5 years I've been kicking, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's never going to change.
Yeah.
It'd probably make us laugh now because, you know, because he'd be laughing at us, calling us dipshits or something, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think a lot of the Canadian talk as well. That I think Wars and I gave him the most shit about it because he swore up and down that he didn't have a Canadian accent. But yeah, anytime. I mean, now granted, Treason and Dom, anybody that's played with them, they have the worst Canadian accents, and Treason has the worst Canadian sayings as well, which is another story.
Plus, you like
As
the
soon as
toilet
it's
bug.
from that, but they'd always throw out a boot or the
Oh God. Yeah.
Kickin swore up and down, I don't say that, but he did every time, and he would catch himself. And Wars and I would just crack up because he would catch himself and he would pause to make sure that he said about instead of boot, just so we wouldn't give him shit. But when he got excited, there was no pause.
That's funny.
And Treason, another great Canadian, he was in the room with Kickin and I, and Wars, and I don't remember who all was there, but it was in World of War. It was before the party chat became, and some just talking trash left and right, and we're all laughing about it. But Treason actually started to get a little pissed,
Mm-hmm.
and just straight yells, "I will flush you like a toilet bug." And so the whole room just stops, and we're like, "What?" And he goes, "I'll flush him like a toilet bug." And I'm like, "What the fuck do you have bugs in your toilet for, Treason?" And I'm like, "Is that a Canadian saying?" And right when I said that, Kicking it goes, "There's no fucking bugs in my toilet."
Fucking toilet bugs. Did Treason ever explain what that meant? Like, is that just...
you know what? I completely thought Treason just lost his goddamn mind or needed a little bit better maintenance on cleaning after himself. But it was probably a good 2 years later after he'd said that I was here flipping through Showtime, Netflix, whatever, but I believe it's Die Hard 2.
Uh-huh.
The sergeant or officer actually makes that saying.
Third one.
The third one?
It's the third one where they're talking to the guy on the phone and
Right.
it's not worth it.
Yeah, and refers to "I will flush you like a toilet bug." And as soon as that popped up, I lost it and text every fucking cack that is in my phone book. You have to go watch this movie. Treason's onto something.
That's funny.
But still don't understand where the fuck these toilet bugs are coming from.
That's new to me. That's funny.
Another good one with Kickin and other Canadians. We're sitting there the one night, and next thing we know, we hear like somebody blowing bubbles. Blub, 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 blub. Blub, blub, blub. Fucking Kick, everybody's quiet, and Kickin goes, "Dom, what you doing?" And he goes, "Blowing bubbles."
Oh. Yeah, and that stuck too. Every night, fucking Kicking, "Blowing bubbles, Dom." Yeah.
Or Snake translating for the Canadians.
Right.
Was he hitting a water bong, or was he actually blowing bubbles?
It was water.
Okay.
But I swear the way Dom did it, it was like he actually held the mic down to it.
Or he might have had one of those things that stick to your head, you know what I mean? Like the normal Xbox one, so he probably didn't even think about it. Just went right down.
He may have, because it was quite loud. I mean, there was no disguising it. And like we said, the whole room just goes quiet. And Dom, what you doing?
Making bubbles.
Blowing bubbles.
That's funny.
Oh man.
Did where was Kickin recruited? The World of War forums? Is that where you guys met him?
Yeah.
I first met him playing with Otis. Capture the flag on World
That's
of
what
War.
it was. That's what it was. Yeah, because I think Wars you had ran with them and then just kind of brought them over to our group because of the time difference.
And he brought all the other Canadians pretty much, except for Treason, I think. No, he brought Treason, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, no.
Treason came with the forums.
We already had Dom and Treason.
Right.
Dom,
and then
Treason,
he
and
brought
Prowler.
Steel and Kalo.
Yeah.
Good for you, Wheat. Good for you.
All right. So
What does that even mean?
what did he say?
They had a special time together.
I should just ban Weedy from the fucking chat. Just get him out of here.
You meant Weedy. If you can't keep up with the conversation, don't get involved, sir.
Weedy's drunk again. He used to run with me and Otis in early Modern Warfare 2 a good bit, but we both signed off.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Because I know it was. I knew it was Otis. I knew that, but yeah, Kicking had ran with him doing Capture the Flag,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was one of those that everybody's schedules kind of switched, and like LBS said, the schedule where they left, and then we'd be getting on, so Wars ended up bringing them over to our group, and it was just a poor fit, or a good fit.
Poor fit.
I looked down and see Mercy kills poor Weedy. It was a good fit.
Yeah, don't feel sorry for Weedy, Mercy.
I don't. After I seen that fucking Down syndrome picture he took, I don't feel sorry for him. If he took that picture and actually looked at it and thought, you know what, this is going to be a good one to put on my page.
Yeah, Weedy, what is that?
Thing onto himself.
What is that Google Hangouts picture? Because it actually gives me nightmares. It's like you took it with a fishbowl lens. It looks like you have a giant forehead and like you're a strong candidate for Down syndrome. Me drunk and high at point-to-point betting on horses. Oh.
Yeah, that I've never been high, but I've been pretty fucked up drunk, and I've never looked like that.
Yeah, no, that's.
Fucking Camel is high and drunk.
But so I mean, but you guys played with them all the way through, though. I mean, you played World of War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1. How did?
I think Modern Warfare 2 is when Kicking came in.
Oh, Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
A little bit of World of War here and there, but I mean, maybe.
World of War was mostly, I played with him whenever he was with Otis's crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, you got to remember, too, World at War is where a lot of us first started meeting. And then, when all the groups really started forming up was in Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, and Kicking not prestiging in Black Ops after playing it for 2 years.
He never prestiged once?
No, he prestiged, what, till 5?
I think
my first encounter with Jules was during the Gladiator tournaments. And he was on my team, and so was Reform Player.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking to Reform, and he kept telling me about this Jules and Timmy that's on my fucking team. How much of fucking assholes they were.
He was right.
I'm thinking, what the fuck? These guys must be real fucking dicks. Next thing I know, I'm fucking playing with them every fucking night, and I haven't talked to Reform since the beginning of...
The whole reason he thought we were assholes is because we were, and Taze is right, Timmy was, and I am as well.
The reason he thought we were assholes is because we were assholes.
The whole reason he thought we were assholes is because we did this, and that's actually what
Grit hasn't said anything.
But,
oh, god damn.
But the reason Timmy and I refused to play with Reformed and all of them was for the same reason that the forums have the community that we do today. And it's like Virgo actually had today put up to where you describe the forums in a sentence. And ever since the forums have been developed, I've always said one thing: the forum, boys, is it's honor in gaming. We don't fuck around, we don't cheat, we don't have to. If we get our ass kicked, so what? We got outplayed. But with that, I mean, we don't have to do any glitches. We don't have to cheat. We don't have to use mods. The people on Reform's team were obviously cheating, obviously using mods. I mean, the M1s that they were using were firing like the PPSH. And Timmy and I had just actually met up on the CODXP, or not CODXP, the CODHQ. And with that, I told him the rule number one: if you run with me, there is no cheating whatsoever. And we got in there, and on the first game, actually, I don't even think we played a game. We were doing practices, and we seen him doing it. And I told Reformed, I said, look, if that continues, I'm not going to be in here. Simple as that. I've got more pride than that. And the first game, it jumped on, and they were cheating, and Timmy and I both backed out. And that was the end of that. And then Wars and I ended up talking from there, and everything led to here.
Yeah. Well, that's something that's kind of, I don't think, that's shit we don't take lightly. People, hell, it's annoying if people fucking dashboard on you, let alone.
Yeah, that's the other thing we don't do. We don't dashboard, that's for sure.
Yeah, that shit gets
Well,
old.
After Jonathan's night last night, where he went 7-47 or some shit like that.
The hell were y'all playing?
I think that was you.
Was this Black Ops 2?
Actually, that was Snake. I went 9-43.
And just point out, we still won.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still won.
Were you guys playing HQ?
Demo.
Demo. Yeah.
Our connections were so far behind.
It was bouncing. We'd have 4 bars 1 second, red bar the next.
I don't know how the fuck you guys can do that. Like, I can't. That stuff that frustrates the hell out. It's a damn connection in that game.
Also, GH, the way we do it's because of the group of guys we've got.
Yeah, I guess that makes. Yeah.
If I didn't play with these guys, I wouldn't even be on fucking Call of Duty. Because honestly, I mean, not to kick a dead horse, it's been said before, but the game sucks.
Yeah.
The reason I play it's because of the guys. I mean, like kicking, the guys I play with every night's what makes it fun.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that definitely would influence it. Can't play
we played
like
a game in Modern Warfare 2 where it was actually hacked and it was obvious.
Really.
Yeah, and it was the javelins, I think it was one of the things that was
God.
really, and we still won.
Really?
Still won. Yeah, we were using tubes. We used obviously what was in the game,
What
but
it was they'd hacked it to where certain weapons did certain things, and once we realized it, we changed those weapons and evened it.
Yeah, and we beat them.
What was it? Domination?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2, we played Dom all the time.
I don't know if I've never seen it confirmed, but I think the no-kill domination game that you guys did, I think that was the first group of people to do that in Black Ops. I know a team. There was a team that did it first ever on Modern Warfare 2, but I think you guys were the first to do it.
Riot shields.
Yeah, the riot shields make things a little. But
that's easy with that.
Yeah, but I think you guys were actually. I looked. I never saw any other. At least in terms of like videos, I never saw any other group guys do that first. So I mean, you guys did some wild ass shit.
Oh yeah,
It took a long time to do that.
I don't even know where that came from. It was somebody asked us.
One of the European guys did. It might have been VTI or something.
Right, they're like, hey, everybody on YouTube's trying to do this no-kill dom team. Do you think you guys can do it? And so we jumped on, and I believe it took us 3 matches. And we ended up doing it in the 3rd match. Wars did a hell of a job editing that video. I still watch it to this day and just crack up laughing whenever he's got the whole Benny Hill thing going on and running around in circles with old boy chasing after him. That team had no clue what the fuck was going on.
No. Well, there's
Kicking was part of that, and you were part of the what you guys gave him 100 points. I wasn't part of that one, but you gave him 100 points in domination.
Yeah, and that was a good time too. But and honestly, the worst thing about the no-kill domination was it was funny because there was a few people on the forums that were like, "Well, try to do it pistols only," and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? We did it without killing people."
Yeah, that's the hardest. It doesn't get any harder than that.
We're not bringing up Wiggy quite yet.
But with that, the worst thing about winning domination without getting a kill was we fucking broke it. I mean, domination used to be our favorite.
Thanks, honey.
And we can't play it at all.
Welcome,
And
dear.
it's so boring. I mean, it's like
Jules getting drinks, I'm getting cookies.
But so now we're on to kind of, we haven't really found a game in Black Ops 2 yet. We always.
What do you guys think of Hardpoint?
I liked it when I first started playing it, but
I'd like it if it was more random. If the hard points weren't set to where you know where they're going to be next.
Yeah.
Really, it comes down to it's a memory game. It has nothing to do with tactics, skill, anything. It's, oh, there's 10 seconds left on the clock and the next one's going to be over here. We're going to go grab it. And so it's not a whole lot of skill there. We've been playing a lot of Demolition lately, though.
Yeah, that can be rough.
Demo and CTF is pretty much our game modes that we've been playing.
You know,
But
Is there any other games that you guys are playing at all? Or is there Black Ops the only thing you're really playing?
dude, we've been tearing up Aliens Colonial Marines.
I'm sure you have.
And by tearing it up, I haven't played it in a week. We played it, Kay and I played it 20 minutes, and it's still sitting on the floor by my Xbox. So.
How did I do? Oh, you guys can't see it. Maybe the stream
we
can see
played
it.
poker.
Oh yeah.
Was that any good?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Full House Poker's fun.
Fucking poker, kicking.
Kicking in his gumdrop.
Still in the wrapping.
God damn.
You know, Kicking shows up one night, and he's in a goddamn
It was the fucking gingerbread man.
gingerbread man.
Yeah. His fucking gumdrop buttons.
What?
And if anybody's played that game at all, one of the big things is whenever you check another person to see like how many chips they've got, how much they've lost, how much they won, basically their stats, your player actually will get on the table and stand up and look at you. And you'll be sitting there playing, all of a sudden this fucking gingerbread man and comes staring at you. And ever since then, I think he actually started to where anytime we would get on and play a night of poker, it became about a 10 or 15 minute routine of trying to find the creepiest fucking costume you could just to match Kickins.
Yeah, I never played that. That's all. There's no money involved in that, though, right? That's just.
It's all play money.
Well,
Yeah.
we've done that a few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
we've actually played for real money, but
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Throw it into a PayPal account and just go based off the chips. But now with that, it's if anybody hasn't downloaded it, I mean, it's definitely worth the game. It's a good time because I've always told everybody with Call of Duty, it's one of those that Weedy, they fixed it. Go fuck yourself. But with the Call of Duty, it was a game that it's enjoyable enough to where it's fun. It's a little fun to play, and with the group of people you play with, just the way the lobbies work are great. So if it gets to the point where the game is just so horrible, but we don't want to jump off, we just want to keep company, we'll go over and play the poker. So.
then you got the grit all in hand of uses.
Yep, it works.
As long as nobody get threes.
That's it. Funny story from that. We were playing with you guys, and then Diesel was on all drunk, and I think Subi and I were still around. And Diesel crashes down into a chair, and he's like, "Ooh, a piece of candy." We kind of figured in our heads, we imagined him, finding an M&M in the couch cushion, but apparently he had a bag of them sitting there by his chair. But...
I haven't talked to Diesel in a while. I haven't seen Diesel. And how's he doing?
He's doing all right. Enjoying married life, I guess. So married.
It's overrated.
Yeah.
Forecastception. Well, I mean, is there any other stories you want to share at all with kicking, or just or just CAC stories in general?
We'd be here all night with all the CAG stories. One thing, kicking though, kind of the last thing on it. Still working on it. I had a couple errands I was going to run today and try to figure out a little bit more on it. But in Kansas City, we've got 12 inches of snow, so it's actually the mayor and the governor declared a state of emergency is how bad or how deep the snow is. So they go there. But what we're looking at is we're actually going to start up a kicking annual tournament.
Okay.
And with that, I've got a couple of prizes in mind so I mean, there will actually be prizes. And I've got one in mind that I'm going to try to figure out how much it is financially. And I'm thinking I'm going to be able to do it. And basically what it is it's an organization that they do custom camo jobs. And it's not like a paint or a sticker or anything like that. It's actually done through electrolysis. So it's a permanent, not going to scratch off, not going to tear, pill, fade, cool. Anything like that. And so what I'm going to do is actually see how much it's going to be to, not 100% sure yet, Virgo. But with that, what we're going to do is I'm going to see how much they are to get done and should be okay to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do it on controllers. Because we went through kind of like we're thinking about turtle beaches. Well, a lot of people have turtle beaches already. So I wanted to be something custom that people would actually want and want to compete for. And I'm actually going to design maybe an actual trophy based off of kick and take care of that. But so far the basis behind it that we're going through right now is everything is going to be random, literally everything.
Okay.
We're going to have 5-man teams. Basically, the 6th person is where kicking's missing.
Okay.
So 5-man teams. The teams are going to be completely random. The game mode's going to be completely random, and your classes are going to be completely random.
Oh God.
Right. And the whole reason that comes about was because of Modern Warfare 2 and Kickin' was playing. It was probably one of the funnest times we had. Proud was rolling with us, and it was just another one of those that we broke the game. I mean, we hadn't lost a game in so long that it became boring.
Yeah. So
Proud started up. He goes, hey, well, I've got this automatic generator that generates everything to do with your class.
Yeah, I remember people doing that.
Yeah, so we started doing that, and I'm going to use the same generator to do on this game. I'd say give me another week, and I'll have a lot of the details on, so definitely keep an eye on the forums.
Okay.
And
that's
once
awesome.
it's through, we will be making an announcement on it. Anything that ends up left over from the tournament we're kind of in debate now, but most of it's going to go towards autism research.
Okay.
A lot of people probably don't realize that Kicking did leave behind a son that does have a pretty severe spectrum of autism.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. I knew he had a son, but I didn't know about that. Okay, well that's awesome that you guys are doing that.
And with that, there's a donation button on the front page. That is set up just for Kicking Son.
Okay. Oh yeah, well that's good. Yeah, that's good to know then. I'll definitely have to check that out and just remember that, guys, for the YouTube video tomorrow too. If you see that, go check that out and definitely donate. It's yeah, I didn't even know that was
Not
the
a lot of
case.
people did, honestly, GH. I honestly completely forgot about it, and I play with Kicking all the time. I believe I heard him mention it twice, and the 3 or 4 years that I've played with him, and it's just one of those things that, I mean, that was his life, and it was just something, like I said, Kicking was never a down person whatsoever. No. So even whenever he was having trouble with that, he kept it to himself. He wasn't trying to bring any
negativity or
exactly. Yes.
What's going on, Smoke?
We'll hit the rewind button there, fella.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's probably only a handful of us knew that. You know, we just never talked about it. You know, if he didn't, you know, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
All right, guys, from the top.
Yep. So, I mean, we already started over once before, so we should be able to do this easily. Yeah, I mean, it's
See, I'll watch here for a couple of weeks. Let me look here. Go ahead, GH. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look up the website that has all the different camos.
all right.
And I'll throw it up in the chat here so people can take a look at it.
And I'll link it tomorrow too, and then whenever you put up the thread, that'll be there too. That's all. That's awesome that you guys are doing that.
Right, because I'm actually going to go talk to the guy and explain to him everything that's going on. Goddamn.
That sounds really bad.
Yeah. You're not making me so smart.
For people who can't read the,
I'll wait till we get the thread up to list
Okay.
that. So I'm going to talk to the guy about maybe.
all the logistics and stuff.
What a smoke win for spooning with you in L.A., Grit.
Yeah, that's a.
Weedy says new sig.
You talked about the CAC stories. One of the huge ones was probably whenever Grit, Nightwing, Smoke, and I all got to travel out to CODXP.
Oh yeah, that was huge, man. I mean, like, there's how many groups in the world? Because it wasn't just a national thing. There was European teams there as well. So it was a total of what, 32 four-man teams?
All about the European teams.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that, Wars?
I said you know all about the European teams.
Yeah, fucking French. It was a French team that knocked us out.
Oh, was it? Okay.
French
Yeah,
from
man.
Ohio.
You know what? Honestly, and I'm sure Grid and Nightwing will agree with me here as well as Smoke. The CODXP was overwhelming. I mean, it was a really neat event, but it was horribly ran. I mean,
I heard
just
that. The lines were pretty bad to just do anything, right?
everything in the actual CODXP was horribly ran. All the way down to where they gave us free passes to where we didn't have to wait in line. We could go. I remember Grid actually got the gauntlet, if I remember right.
No, Cable was playing in the gauntlet, I think.
Now, it wasn't Cable, because Cable wasn't with it. It was the ones that they gave us to where we had free jump to the front of the line passes. It was for anybody that was actually
We do like paintball live, a Call of Duty map.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But everybody was waiting in line for these, but the CODXP players themselves actually got to get little passes to be able to go to the front of the line.
Nice.
Well, the only thing is, with that, yeah, I dropped $32 for lunch, and it was a fucking sandwich and a Sprite. But with that, this kind of describes how horribly ran it was. They were only good for whenever we were playing in the tournament.
Yeah, I remember.
What?
Okay,
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was like from 9 to 11, and that's what time
Exactly. You
our
can use
time
them
was.
from 9 to noon or something like that, but the tournament was held between 8 and 2.
Oh, so you had to prepare for that, get in that. You'd like have no time at all. That's
Oh,
Right. So there was absolutely no way to do it. You didn't know when you were going to be up to play.
His Xbox
whenever-
was shut down twice, didn't it?
Yeah, we were actually the right. Let's smoke. Put it out there. With it, we actually we were the first team to go, and we were basically given, I believe it was 10 minutes to check out the game, check out the classes, make a class, do a private match, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, my Xbox shut off 2 times during that, and basically the people running it said, sorry.
So you didn't have any classes? You just had to do the standard ones going into it?
I think I got to make 1 class, if I remember right. Didn't even know what kill streaks I was running or anything. But anyways, I mean, that's all has been. It was still the best thing I'd ever done. But the next day, oh, shit. The next day, I decided that we're going to rent a limo. And
Oh, God.
to travel LA.
And I'd already been drinking at that point today.
Right?
We all were drinking.
Basically, we figured out, because I wanted to go see LA. I wanted to see different. So we're all the way out in California. The fucking CODXP tournament's over. It was balls. Let's make the best of.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
Time we got left.
Or flying us out here for free, and me and a couple of guys I'd never met before. So I go down and look at the tours, and one of the guys pulls me to the side, and he's like, hey, for the same amount of money you're going to do on this tour, I'll get you a private limo. Well, I said, done. And so the limo shows up with Carlos, the driver, and where do you want to go first? I said, the liquor store. And the best part about it was I think we came out with a bottle of Captain, a bottle of Sky Vodka. And I look in the back of the limo, and there's Grit's big ass sitting in the back with the fucking Mickeys in a brown bag. I'm like, Grit, we are traveling Los Angeles in a private limo. And the best drink you came up with was Mickey's in a brown bag. And I'll never forget the look on Grit's face. He just looked at me and goes, well, yeah. What more could you argue with? But,
the conversation came up. Joel's like, hey, we're going to rent a limo. I'm like, all right, let's go. I was ready to party, man. I mean, I got out there before everybody else, and I got a little tuned up at the hotel before everybody got there. I went out in the hotel room.
And even though we bought our liquor, Carlos had this concoction of tequila and bourbon in the limo.
You just had that sitting there?
A hot bottle.
Right. Jules' great idea was to have a shot together. Not once, twice. I think we even did it a third time.
I don't remember that.
Oh, man, we pull up. I mean, we had literally just pulled up to the hotel. Jules starts throwing up. Smoke starts throwing up. I just get out of the goddamn limo.
It was a good night. But Grit, do you remember the stop sign or the bus stop there, Grit?
Somebody give me something.
Oh no, we're sitting at the stoplight and there were some chicks beside us, and I was gonna try to hit on them, but I couldn't figure out anything to say because I was pretty tuned up.
So what were your exact words, though?
Give me something smart to say.
But this is after we pull up to a stoplight. There's a couple of very attractive ladies.
Yeah.
At standing there at like a bus stop, waiting across the street, whatever. But Grit kind of looks over and he's like, "All right, yeah, they're pretty good looking." I was like, "Well, talk to him, Grit." So he's like, "Yeah, I think I will." And he reaches over and he rolls the window down and he just looks at him, and then he rolls the window back up and he looks back at Smoke, Nightwing, and I and goes, "Give me something smart to say."
I was overwhelmed by the big city, man.
I take it nothing smart was ever said.
No, I kept laughing.
I live in a big city.
Yeah,
That's
I was in LA, man.
I still need to get on there, and I've still got all those pictures on my phone. If it wasn't for Smoke and Nightwing, Grit and I would still be traveling LA with Carlos.
Yep.
We had no fucking clue where we were.
You guys walked away.
We went on adventures. It's, I had somebody bought me a shot of tequila for riding the mechanical bull for 8
You
seconds.
scared the hell out of him.
I did not. He was a nice gentleman.
Hold on, before you finish this story. The way it starts is Grit turns around, and you can't really tell here. Grit's a fucking ox. I mean, as strong as a son of a bitch and a big boy. And he just looks over at this guy at this bar that we're at and goes, "If I ride that bull for 8 seconds, you're going to buy me a shot." Turns around and walks over to get onto the bull, which, side note, they made us put emergency contact information.
Yeah.
Right beside each other. I put Grit's information down. Like, we're out in fucking LA. These are the only people I know here. Yeah, let him know if I get hurt. And Grit got on the bull for 8 seconds and went over, and the guy, out of fear of his life, bought a shot of tequila.
He was laughing, man. You know what? And I said, "Dude, let me get you a shot too." And he said, "No." I was like, "All right, well then I'm going to get myself another one, and I'll drink it for you." And I did drink a lot of tequila that night on top of the Mickey's 40 and the 12-pack of
Yeah, we have videos.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had a video of that.
And you
Somebody
never
does.
shared
I
it,
don't know
Smoke?
about the ox. I know about the birds and stuff.
Yeah.
Smoke's over here, like, holding out on us.
Yeah, we need to get those up. I've got a lot of pictures that we'll get up on that.
I know. I sent Cable a camera, a HD camera, to record stuff. I don't know what videos he got from that though, because
Oh.
yeah, I never. There's so many negative things about the XP that I was like, ah, fuck it, forget it. But I never heard any of these stories afterwards. Apparently,
That's just it. After, and it's just like playing Call of Duty. The game sucks, but the people you're playing it with makes it a good time. That's
funny.
exactly what we did in LA. I mean, we went and did the tournament. It was, I did rage. I bounced my controller off of the screen and turned around and walked away. Probably a good minute left in the game, I think. Wasn't proud of that, but it did feel really fucking good. But after the tournament was over, the next day was, I don't think I recovered for a week. But it was a good time.
Yeah.
Damn.
At the same time, on the kick and pedo subject, we actually have pictures where we're standing next to a sign that's a height requirement to be able to ride something. Right, and we took that picture especially for kicking.
I think it was for that bull riding.
It was a carnival ride at the.
Oh, that's when me and Smoke had to go find you guys in the carnival.
Yeah, we got lost in the carnival. We were up to no good. I mean, we're on adventures, man. Like I said, it's a good time.
And they're probably they're probably never gonna do an XP again. I don't think they would. I mean they'd stop for Black Ops 2, didn't they?
There's a reason why they didn't do it. They knew it was horribly ran. I mean, there's one of those things where if you're going to do a tournament with the internet connection on during the gameplay was so fucking horrible. Even the team that beat us asked us. They're like, "You didn't even see us on your screen when we shot at you, did you?" No. What was they had them hooked up to an open Wi-Fi.
Oh God.
System. And no passwords or anything. They had it hooked to that. Well, everybody in there was hooked to the same Wi-Fi with their smartphones, with their laptops, with streaming videos. I mean, so it was poorly done, and I don't think they're. I mean, well, and then you look at Cable. What they do, they stood in line for like 7 hours to get their free copy of Modern Warfare 3, and they shut it down and said, "Up, try again tomorrow."
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. It wasn't even to get the copy of it. It was to get a token to be able to go to a website so they'll mail it to you. And these people stayed in there for Cable could have died. But they stood in line for 15 or 16 hours during this huge event just to wait to get a $60 game.
$6 game, you mean?
What's that?
The actual retail value should have been about $6, not $60.
Yeah, we didn't even play that for like a month, I don't think.
I'm gonna have to figure out. My girl knows how to do all that, loading up pictures from the phones. I've got them all on my phone. I'll try to get them loaded up and actually get them on the get them up on the forums. Everything I've got here.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because I haven't really. We've only heard, but we haven't seen anything of what went down. Just heard
I've got one picture that.
You're about the only one that thinks that way, Taze.
Yeah, I told Smoke I would never put up without his permission. So, and he knows what I'm talking about. So that would be completely up to him. But all the other pictures besides that one, unless he gives the okay, I'll put up.
That's funny.
Just remember, Jules, if they're on your phone, there's an app for that. You can upload straight from your phone to the forums.
Yeah, Netflix.
Oh, that's right.
Anything else you guys want? Anything you want to cover at all? Keep talking about the cock. I mean, if you guys want to switch to something, you want to end here, or we switch to something else. Did I say cock?
You
Yeah.
almost did.
Yeah.
You caught yourself. What's on your mind tonight, GH?
That's just it with watch for wars. I think we're going to stay off that subject for now. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're talking about, we're going to stay off that for the time being. GH and I actually had a conversation with that before you got back on. But with that, it's Bernie has that cock on his mind. That happens. With that, I'd say just definitely watch out on the forums for. I'm gonna get the link put up after I talk to this guy about what he can work out for me. But definitely we're gonna start up that Kicking annual tournament here in a couple of weeks.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Everything you're doing with that, and yeah, keep an eye out for it. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on. Kind of, I guess, bittersweet. It's great to hear. There's a lot of these stories never heard of. They sound freaking hilarious. It sucks that Kickin's gone, but he's not forgotten. So I appreciate.
He never will be.
Yeah, definitely. So appreciate you guys coming on, everybody in the stream, hanging out. That's I think it's forecast number 14, but appreciate it. Everyone take it easy.
All right.
All right, have a good one, guys.
It was awesome.